Good evening. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I have missed you all. I feel like I have not been on here in so long, but by the grace of God, we are here. We are excited. I'm so looking forward to this evening, but we do appreciate you joining us. Welcome to Purpose Journey Counseling LLC Reloaded. It is still 2023, so we are still reloaded. It is Sunday, October the 8th, y'all. It is fall. I hope y'all like that fall background. I am, for one, and not that excited about it being cold, but it's fall, so we're going to be grateful for every season that we're in. But we want to welcome you. Those who are on with us live, or if you catch us later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, or even later in the year, we want to welcome you. My name is Dr. Ntatu North, and I am the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling LLC, which is located in Cincinnati, Ohio. So again, it's Sunday. It's October the 8th. It's a perfect time actually to be inside right now because it's cold outside. It's cold outside. So we are actually live. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And I am actually in the process of posting the link for YouTube on Instagram right now. So if you could please actually assist me with that. We see people are coming on again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But now you see you're joining. We want you to invite other people to join with you. We have some very awesome young men who are here on this evening. So we do want you to like this broadcast. Please follow us on your preferred social media platform. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even if you don't watch us on YouTube, it's all good. We just ask that you take a moment to subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost any money. You could do that for free. And then also let's interact and engage in the comments section. So as you're coming on this evening, good evening, Mother. Good evening. I knew you would be here, so good evening. Thank you for always joining. But let us know you're here in the comments section. Go ahead and just say, hey, good evening, what's up, checking in, anything like that. Let us know you're here. Our guests are not on yet, but they can see. So any comments that you guys make, make sure that they see them. Let's pray for our young men this evening because this is their first time doing this, but this is going to be definitely a blessing. So let us know you're here in the comments section. Tag at least 7 people and grab something. You can take notes or write down questions. Anything that you want to kind of like take note on this evening. I think it's going to be good. It's very, very important that we give our young people a chance to speak. And when they're speaking, we really need to be listening, not to respond, but listening to really hear what they have to say. So there might be parents. I'm going to tell you because in our prep, parents, take notes. Take notes. However you need to remember things, please take notes. Good evening, sis. Good evening. That's the mother of one of our guests. Good evening. And then good evening, sis. That is the TT of both of our guests, actually. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, sis. So thank you all for being here. We're still tagging. We're still inviting people to join us on this evening. So we're going to just kind of move along because I have a few things that I want to do before we go too far. The first thing I want to do is I always still share this information every time that we're together. The numbers for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Mental health is real, definitely real. And let's face it, as the seasons change and fall comes, a lot of us experience seasonal depression. As it gets colder outside, it gets a lot tougher for a lot of us. So let's make sure we have these numbers available. That number is 1-800-273-8255. This number is 24/7. So please keep this number readily available. Just put it in your phone. Just put it in your phone so it's available if needed. The second number is for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number is 988. Again, that's 988. That number is also 24/7. And the great thing about this number is that you can text it as well. So we want to make sure we have these numbers available when, if ever, needed. Before we go a little further, what is Purpose Journey Counseling? We're a private practice located in Reading, Ohio, which is in Cincinnati. We do provide counseling services for individuals, couples, and families. We work with children, adolescents, and adults. So we've just been blessed. This year has been a phenomenal year for Purpose Journey Counseling. That's why I decreed and declared at the end of last year, we're going to be reloaded this year, and God has been blessing. So we're just thankful that God has given us this platform and this opportunity to share with you. And one of the things we love to just make sure we reiterate is it is okay to have Jesus and a therapist too. You can have both. Actually, a lot of us need, absolutely, we all need Jesus. A lot of us need a therapist too, even if it's short term. So thank you for tagging. Thank you all, because I see the numbers are growing. So thank you all for coming on this evening. So this is our monthly podcast, hashtag from a Christian, hashtag from a therapist, with Dr. Ntatu. This is episode 15, and we're titling it, We Want to Be Heard to Young Men on adolescent mental health. The reason why we're doing this is because, again, like I was saying just a few minutes ago, we need to hear from our young people. A lot of times we actually do them a disservice by speaking for them. Sometimes we think we understand things. We think we know, oh, we've been raising kids and this is my grandchild, this is my great grandchild. We think we understand things. And it's not to say that we're always wrong. It's not to say that we as parents, grandparents, TTs and all that stuff, it's not to say that we don't know, but it's very important that we allow them to speak, and not just speaking, but that, again, like I said, that we're actually listening to hear, not to respond. Good evening, Angel. Gotta love the fall, closer to winter. Merry Christmas. So silly. I love Christmas too, but we gotta get there. So, but that's the purpose of this evening. It's gonna be, basically giving them an opportunity to speak on some of their personal experiences, getting their feedback. These are two wonderful young men. I'm just gonna say it up front. This is my godson and my son. So flat out, I love them dearly, and I really appreciate them being here this evening. So we're really just gonna support them. I just ask, as always, in the comment section, if you do make comments, we ask when they're adult guests as well, but we're asking, please just remain respectful at all times, but also let's encourage them on this evening. It takes a lot to do this. I'm 39 years old, and it takes a lot for me to get on here and start talking in front of people. It takes a lot, and they're 12 and 14. So let's encourage them on this evening. Young men, this is your segue, because I'm getting ready to add y'all to the broadcast. So I can see them. Y'all can't see them. Y'all give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, I see one set of thumbs, and we good? Okay, good. I was waiting. Okay, so I'm bringing them on the screen now. So let's welcome our guest for this evening. Welcome. How y'all smiling and everything? Look at the Lord just shining all over you. So I'm going to give you all a chance to introduce yourselves, and whoever wants to start can.
Chris, you want to go first?
I guess. So hi, my name is Chris. I'm 12. There's a couple of things I like to do in my life is like to sing, act, and mostly play basketball. Mostly basketball. I used to want to sing a lot, but now basketball is just my main priority in my grades. So yeah.
Okay. Did you know that you had to sing tonight and act? Did you know that? Did I tell you that? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Well, welcome, Chris. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, my name is Rajan North. I'm 14. Some things I like to do. I like to play video games. I love to listen to music. That's probably most definitely one of my favorite things to do is listen to music. In the different genres of music that I listen to, that's I really like. And another main thing that I like is sleeping. That's actually really good. And while we're on the topic, sleeping is actually pretty good for mental health as well too, because if you don't get enough sleep.
You know what? I'm gonna receive what you just said, because you're right. See, and I had to catch myself, because as a mom, I started to be like, but you know what? You're right. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna listen to hear what you said, not to respond to it. So thank you, Rajan. Welcome, Rajan. And we got a hello, Rajan. Yes, that's my boy. I'm sure that was for you, Chris. TT says, yay for sleeping. There we go. So sleep is actually a very beautiful thing. You're absolutely right about that. So thank you all for introducing yourselves. Thanks for being here. And let's go ahead and get started. So I already told you guys, we're going to start with an icebreaker. This is just a fun question, okay? This is not a serious question. Well, answer honestly though.
Okay.
If you could travel back to any decade, what decade would that be? Or you can even say if it's a specific year, even what year would you want to live in and why?
Mm, probably the 90s.
Why?
I don't know because the 90s just seem high.
I will start waving at Mr. Venus. Sorry.
The 90s just seems like it would be a good decade to be in.
It was. I was a child in the 90s, but I think I enjoyed it. But yeah. Okay, the 90s. Chris.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would probably want to go back. What just happened? I probably want to go back to the 2000s for sure. Yep, like from 2000 to 2010, because I want to see what it was like before we had all of this, good technology.
Oh, so you want it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to see like what like the black and white is about. I want to see that before we have
Black
all
and
this
white
stuff.
TV. That wasn't in the 2000s.
Oh, okay. Before iPhones and all that stuff was made, before all this good technology.
Got it. Okay, I was just like, whoa, wait a minute, because I'm honestly, we had a black and white TV in the kitchen, but that was just my mom's old TV, so that's funny. But yeah, okay. So we got the 1990s and the 2000s. So basically, y'all both back a couple decades. Okay. He just made us real old. He absolutely did. He definitely did. Thank you. So, okay, well, thank you all for doing our icebreaker. That was our easiest question that you didn't even know about. See, y'all answered an easy question and didn't even know you had to answer it. Boom. So y'all ready, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and go into our first question. Like I said, as we're going through these, if you guys have encouraging words you want to say, also if you guys have questions throughout this time, you can ask them. If we have time, we'll try to get to them. Even follow-up questions to some of these questions, we'll do those as well. So starting with the first question, I'll leave it on the screen for a minute so you guys can look at it. When you hear the term adolescent mental health, what comes to mind? What do you think of?
When I think of adolescent mental health, I think of just young people in general, not just really like a certain type of young. I just think young people in general whenever you hear adolescent mental health.
Okay. So like, is there a certain age on that, would you say?
I guess I don't really know.
That's okay. That's good.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay.
Well, at first I didn't know what adolescent meant, but now that I do, when I think of the word, it's like I think it means like for kids like my age all the way to like probably Rajan's age, like and like their mental health and like what they're going through and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I got.
Adolescents, so like kids your age, the things that they go through, their mental state, kind of like, and I know we're going to talk about things that impact that, but yeah, it goes to your psyche, what's going on up here, basically. And adolescence, there could be some different age, or I'll say parameters on that, but usually I say adolescence is like 12 to 18-ish. So yeah, right where you guys are, which is why you guys are here, because Chris, you're like right at the beginning of adolescence. Congratulations, you have entered into adolescence. And Rajan, you're like a couple years in, so that's why you are here. But absolutely, when we're talking about adolescent mental health, we are talking about you. We're talking about your peers. We're talking about those people you go to school with, essentially, and that you see every day, people that you might sing with or play video games with. Those are the people that we're talking about. And we're talking about your mental health because your mental health is just as important as adult mental health, just as important. And I'm not going to say too much now, but we have to talk about it now. We got to tackle it early, because I'll say this: if we don't deal with some of the things that go on in adolescence, it creates bigger problems as you get older. So this is very pivotal to talk about these things. So next question. Do you believe that adolescent mental health is addressed in the way it should be? Why or why not?
For me, I think sometimes it depends on the people you ask, because some people could be like, yeah, I think it is. And then somebody like me personally, I don't think it is, because some people just try to brush it off as we're young, and it's just puberty, and they're young, they're going through puberty and different stuff like that, but a lot of times it's not. And that's why I feel like it's not addressed in the way that it should be, because they just kind of brush it off as, oh, they're going into their teenage years, so it must be just a teenage year phase or something, but
Um,
it's not.
it's not. So you would say no. Okay.
I agree with John. I don't think it is because it's like it's. I don't think it is because like I know like most people in my school like they don't. It's like they try like they're. I wouldn't say like they're depressed sometimes, and then like when somebody helps them out, it's like they can't express it to that person because it's like you're just too deep in it, like in like the mental health state that they're in. So it's like it's not really addressed if like kids like keep coming to school and want to do all these things that are harming themselves. So like I don't think it's not addressed. No way that should.
So Rajon, you would say no because people kind of brush it off as puberty.
Yeah.
And Chris, you're saying no because you've experienced a lot of people that you're like, okay, it seems like they're dealing with some mental health concerns, and it's not necessarily being dealt with or addressed. And just to say, both of you are absolutely correct. I would agree with you. I don't think it's addressed as much as it should for basically the same reasons. I think we sometimes confuse puberty with mental health. Like there are a lot of things that you all are going through and will still go through that definitely impact you. Like even having mood swings and things like that is normal. It is normal. The hormones are changing and things like that. However, there are times, or it can get to a point where certain things can be concerning, like Chris, like what you're talking about. So definitely I agree with both of you. I want to ask this question kind of as a follow-up because Chris, what you said kind of made me think about this. This is a simple question for you to answer, not difficult because you don't know about this question, but do you all have any kind of mental health resources at your schools? Like if someone's struggling with something at school, can they go talk to somebody?
Like counselors and stuff.
Or any kind of, even some, there can actually be mental health services in your school. Some schools have that.
I'm pretty sure there are. I think that, yeah, like if you go to talk to your counselor, I'm pretty sure.
I do, because like the counselor came into my class to talk about it, and she said like we had like all these numbers to call, and like she said like if you guys ever need to like talk about something, you can always just like talk to her. And people have actually like because I even took that into consideration, but it was last year. And I just wanted to talk to her about something that I need to get off my chest, and it went okay. I was just kind of like nervous to like let it out.
But you did, and you were able to seek the help that you needed, which is important. And I know a lot of schools have actual agencies because I know I used to do that when I worked in agencies. We had school-based therapists and case managers that either they're in the schools, so like they have offices that they come in the building and they are actually there, or sometimes they come on site, just like they kind of just see you. So it's important to be able to have that. But I was just kind of curious if you all did have those resources. So, okay, you ready for the next question?
Yep.
Or you need another icebreaker? No, I'm just kidding. Next question. Just kidding. So, next question is, what have you learned? So, you personally, what have you learned about mental health?
More clarif- more, just a little bit more clarification.
What I mean by that?
Yeah.
So this could be taken in a number of different ways. It could be in terms of what you think the importance of mental health, what it can look like, You don't necessarily have to share your own personal experience with it, but it could be stuff that you've witnessed. Again, like I said, we're not using other people's names or anything like that, but things like that. Does that make sense?
Uh, I can say something that I think I've learned about mental health. It can really impact, like, I'm trying to think how to word this. It can really impact like how you act throughout the day, because like if you're feeling good mentally, because I'll use myself as an example. Sometimes, I can still get enough sleep and then still wake up, and then mentally I'm just not there. And then, you get to school and you're kind of just moping around throughout the day and you're just ready for it to be over. And then sometimes with your mental health is doing good, and then you going through having a good day. So I think I can say that it can most definitely affect your actions. And if something's going on up here, something that happened at home, or you're getting bullied at school, that can affect you mentally, which also can affect how you act. Because that's also one of the reasons why a lot of people bully other people, because there's a lot of stuff going on mentally, and it could be other people bullying them, or it could be stuff at home that's going on. But yeah.
Okay.
What I've learned about mental health is that not everybody is in the same state as you are. Like some people could be in like in a great state, like they're happy of like where they are and like what they're going through, and like they're having like their life is going great, and like other people like their life is just going downhill, like they don't know like what to do except for break down and cry, and it's like they're not in the same state as you are. So like that's what I learned about myself.
Absolutely. You both are definitely spot on. Like Rajon, what you're saying, it definitely, when you get up in the morning, yeah, mental health is probably one of the top things when if you're not in the right state of mind, yeah, how you act, if you are speaking to people, if you're grumpy, if you even get up out of the bed or just kind of lay there, that kind of stuff, yeah, definitely impacts that. Um, Absolutely. And I think it's definitely pivotal though that we're attentive to that, because I even say as a parent, sometimes I can just be focused on what I need in a moment. And I'll use mornings as an example because Rajon, we sometimes
Yes.
it's a difficult morning. I'm like, get up because we gotta go. I'm focused, 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 focused. But we have to be attentive to what type of mental state you're in. And even parents, I would even say sometimes just ask. I know it's hard. I know it's hard waking them up in the morning and you got to wake them up 15 times before they get up. But maybe seeing like, is something going on right now because maybe there's an issue. And then Chris, like what you were saying, like not everybody's mental state. You're so correct. It's not all the same. We don't even experience the same emotions the same way. We just don't. So we have to be mindful of that. And I think that it's so important when we're dealing with children, because especially those of us, whether we have children or we work with children, the things we say and the things we do, or adolescents, the things that we say and do with them, it can change their whole mental state of their day. Maybe you went into school and you're feeling fine, and then somebody, even an adult, sometimes it's the adults, we say stuff and it's like, I'm done, checked out for the rest of the day because I came in the building, you said something smart to me about my pants not being, or my shirt not being tucked in or something, and it's like sometimes it's the way we say things. So I'm just reading some comments. I was sharing this with my kids as to why some people bully. Absolutely, yes. A lot of times, this is other stuff. It's other stuff going on. If we're trying to cause harm to someone else, it's something going on with us. It's something going on with us. Like bullies are often bullied. Absolutely. With that was said, hard. I think you were talking about waking up in the morning, Bridget. That's probably what you were saying. Um, but she's listening. She said, but absolutely something to work on. It's tough because I'm the parent in the morning. My husband's the parent in the evening. We both got it rough because both times are rough. But mornings are hard. But maybe we should be more mindful of that. So thank you all for sharing with that one. So Next question. What are important issues that you think contribute to adolescent mental health? So, what are things that impact it?
Like in a positive or
Both positive and negatively.
well, one thing I think that is good that can contribute positively is if they have somebody is if well for one if they feel like talking or if they want to talk to somebody about it. And then two is if like somebody just listens to them, not somebody who is listening but is not listening. And what I mean by that is you're listening to them talk, but you're not really understanding what they're talking about. You know, like you're so focused on what you think about it. You're not really focused on how they feel.
Okay. So, listening is helpful. Okay.
But like in a bad way, I think it's like stuff that's like important issues that contribute to it. It's like bullying, like how Miss Sabina said, like she was just telling her kids about why people bully. It's like that bullying. Uh, I could say like kind of like fighting like parents like not always like being there to help their kids like with homework or stuff like that, or like just help them mentally. I feel like those like some issues that contribute to the mental health, because it's like you're like you don't have anybody there that can support you and like tell you like what to do to like help you like keep going and continue to like be happy instead of like being like all like mopey and sad all the time.
Mhm. So, bullying, parents, surroundings, environment, things like that. Things like that. So, to me, would you all say that pretty much anything, most things, contribute to our mental health in general?
Yeah,
Most things, even some of the things we don't even think about,
yeah.
like yeah, just the stuff that we're surrounded by.
It
Um,
could be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
It could be. It could even be the friends that you have. You know, it could be the your classmates that are around you. It can be your teachers.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. I think I was just gonna say, even I notice sometimes, depending on what I'm dealing with mentally, even the type of music that I'm listening to impacts my mental health. I know when I'm in a mood, and it's a mood, and it's not a good one. I have to listen to gospel. That is the only music that gets my spirits up. That's it. That's it for well, most of, yeah. When I'm in a really really bad mood. Now, when I'm in just kind of like I can listen to like some other stuff, but if I'm in a real funk, it has to be gospel, and it has to be upbeat gospel, or it's got to be worship. It's got to be something. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. Um. So, oh, she loves you guys. Oh, we do. All of us do, and we support you. But yeah, so we do. You're right. We have to be careful of our friends. We have to be careful of where we are, what we're doing, what are we listening to. Like y'all have social media.
Yeah, but contrary to actual belief, I'm not even on it that much.
Okay.
Most of the time, I'm either watching Netflix or Prime Video or stuff like that. The most I'll probably do is TikTok and Instagram. That's about it, though.
Mhm. TikTok and Instagram. Okay.
And then again, I'm not even on Instagram or TikTok that long.
You got social media, Chris? I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm just asking. If you don't, then you don't. I'm just asking.
Oh, I do. I got TikTok. I got YouTube. I'm not gonna say the other app
Okay.
because I know somebody's watching.
A lot of people are watching, Chris.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I got all I got is just TikTok, YouTube, and I only use Instagram to like to see posts on from my school and just look at my mom's posts to see what she just posted on hers.
Okay. Well, I'm only ask. I was not asking that to incriminate nobody because It ain't about that. But the reason why I'm asking is because you also have to be careful with social media. If we're talking about influences, we cannot talk about influences without talking about social media. So social media is a big one. Social media can be used. Social media can be used positively. There you go. Your mom, TT. Side
She
eye.
already know. My mom already know. My mom
Okay,
already.
okay. I hope if she didn't, she knows now. Thank you for being honest. I told you I'd be honest. But social media is a big one. I'm not saying don't have social media unless you're not supposed to have it. Whatever you're not supposed to have, don't have. No, don't have what you're not supposed to have. That's the mom out. Don't have what you're not supposed to have. But be careful of what you're watching because that stuff has influence on you as well and your mental health and the things that you're watching. I know a lot of it is entertaining, but sometimes entertainment does a lot of damage on our brain as well because sometimes it's just not what we need. And sometimes the way we process it is not positive. So we have to be very, very careful with that. It is huge. Um, and it's just, we just have to watch it. And I'm going to say that because it needs to be said. And I'm on social media and I see a lot of negative things and I'm an adult. So, and I see stuff that affects me mentally. I've noticed even for me, like I like to watch TikTok at night because to me, TikTok's the stuff that I follow is more entertaining. But I'll tell you this, if I'm in the middle of my workday and I start scrolling on Facebook, I get an attitude, a negative attitude. I'm just being honest. I just do. I don't know why. It's not even that I saw, well, I probably did see somebody I want to see. It's probably what it is. Facebook does something. So I usually use my stuff for this. Mainly is why I have social media is for this kind of stuff and to keep in touch with family that live out of town because most of my family's out of town. So just be careful. I won't go into a whole tangent on social media because this is not what this is about. But I have to say that because I care about y'all, love y'all. So we have to be careful with social media. And if you see stuff you don't even understand what it is, ask your parents, please, your TTs, your nanas, your mamas, ask somebody. If you're struggling with, ask somebody, okay? I'd rather if you got something you're not supposed to have and you see something you're not supposed to see, I'd rather you come and it disturbed you. I'd rather you come tell me than keep it to yourself because at least then we can talk about it. Does that make sense? Rajon, did you not? Okay.
Yes, I say
Okay. Just I had to go on that little spiel. Absolutely. Please ask. Just ask. I promise you, you probably get in less trouble for just being honest and saying you did something and something. You get less trouble for that than you act on something you saw or something happens. You just tell us. Tell us. So, all right. Next question. Next question. What is self-esteem to you? What factors impact someone's self-esteem?
Well,
um,
self-esteem to me is like your anger inside because like I've seen people more like my god brother have a lot of self-esteem. Like, 'cause I say so, like sometimes me and others will like get him like kind of a little bit ticked off, and then like he'll put in his ear pods and listen to music, and it's like that's what I think like self-esteem means. It's like you just keep like the energy like madness or like annoyed inside you. You just like don't let it out, and like then you just listen to something that'll just keep you calm. Yeah.
uh, self esteem, at least for me, sometimes I'm gonna be completely honest because you told me to be honest. I have trouble with self esteem. Whoa, self esteem.
Okay, take your time.
Sometimes self esteem. Sometimes. Uh, and a lot of times it's in my math class because I'm being completely honest. I'm not, the best at math when it comes to algebra and different stuff like that. But, a lot of the times, and I do have an issue with this, and even my teacher tells me this sometimes. I'll come up and ask him a lot of questions on a lot of different answers. And then sometimes before I go up there, I'll erase the answer that I already had down because I'm not sure if it was right or not. and then I'll go up there. We'll do it together in the same way that I broke it down on the paper or on the Chromebook or whatever we're doing. And then he'll be like, yeah, you have the right thing down. And then I'll be like, oh, and then that boosts my self esteem a little bit because I'm like, okay, I understand it. And then just maybe when I'm done, ask him and make sure it's okay, you know. But even sometimes my math teacher, he's like, you know, he says it in a respectful way, but he's just like, I want you to have a little bit more self esteem, just boost yourself up a little bit.
Hmm. That's wonderful that your teacher said that, though. That's a good thing. That's the way we could be, positively impact, each other's mental health. But just in general, how we conceptualize it, like how we're dealing with our situations. That's important. Um, and so the different factors, there's a lot of things that impact our self-esteem, um, and we have to be very, 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 very careful with self-esteem, and especially in adolescence, because this is the time so many things change, and you become kind of like a different person. You go from being like a little boy to like a young man, and then you kind of just become a man over time as well. Um, so it's important to be mindful of self esteem and the different things that happen. I'm going to tell you all this about self esteem, though, as my blanket statement, which I've had to learn is don't worry about what other people say about you. Worry about what God says about you. That helps. Not going to say that it takes everything away or you never, have any influences or impacted by anything. But remember what God says about you. And if you don't know what God says about you, then we're going to have some more conversations. I know y'all do. I know y'all do. But I want to put this up here because for being open house, you're doing an amazing job. God bless you both. And she's proud of you. Um, let's see, then Minister Yolanda says, thank you for being real. We second guess ourselves and self-esteem is so important. And Minister Venus said, oops, I don't know why it's not. Okay, they one word for me. That's good. And then what she said, Mama said this too. And pour life into yourselves. You are marvelously made. We as adults need to remember that. Yeah, it's very true. It's hard. It's hard because there's just so many things that impact the way we see ourselves. And we pay attention to so many things that don't even matter. And we're looking at this, and we even learned today in our pour at church about not, comparing ourselves to what we see. That's important for you all as well, to learn how to be more confident, like whether you're answering math or whether it's reading something, whatever it is, whether it's singing, acting, basketball, whatever it is knowing that, whatever God has planted in you is going to be watered and it's going to grow. And sometimes when you're in the midst of that, it feels weird because you guys are like, y'all voices are already deeper than they were. Like, Chris, I've known you since you were about one. I don't even think you were one when I met you. I don't even think you were one yet. You were like a baby, baby, baby. And Rajan, I've known you since before the beginning of time, well, your time. So, but I mean, y'all have changed so much. Y'all have grown up, so it's a miracle just to see it. So just know that you are made in the image of God. No matter what anybody says about you, you are. Even with the struggles, the things that might seem difficult sometimes, because y'all gonna have struggles in your life. But know that God loved you. God loved you first, before your parents did, before your grandparents did, your aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, anybody. God loved you first, and God don't make mistakes. So there you go. So even when people say stuff, God don't make mistakes. People say, "Well, you too this." Well, God don't make mistakes. That could be your retort. Well, God don't make mistakes. So why you not taller? God don't make mistakes. Why did God don't make mistakes?
You know what? I'm glad that you just said that because whenever somebody tells me that I'm short, a lot of times that used to bother me, but it doesn't really anymore. To be completely honest, a lot of the things that people say about me, that people used to say about me, they say now, I really don't care. Like like what you said, for example, when people call me short, no joke, this is what I say. I'd be like, well, I always win at games of limbo. So
Wow.
That and I don't have to duck under doors every single time I have to go through them. So
I like those because I'm short too. Chris, you not short, but
hmm.
I mean, people talk about people saying they too tall too. They do. Don't be laughing, Bridget. Don't be laughing because it's the truth. Like we be vertically, we're just vertically challenged. God only lets things grow until they're perfect. Hello, shorty. Yeah, I saw something that said, and it didn't take that long for me to get there or something. I saw a T-shirt. We're gonna have to get that T-shirt to wear that. But we needed to pause. We needed to pause on that too. So I ain't trying to preach, but I'm just saying we gotta pour into y'all this evening too. So y'all feeling all right still? Y'all still
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
I'll just make sure, Chris, you good. Okay, I'm just making sure. So now let's talk a little bit. So we talked about what mental health is. We talked about what you guys know about it, things that contribute to it. We talked about self-esteem. We talked about all of that. So one of the things that I think is important to address too. Yes.
The thing has a low battery. I gotta plug that outlet thingy in.
Oh, it should be okay. Please do that so you don't get kicked off. But one of the things that I want to talk about is a. Are you good?
Yeah, I got it.
I'll play with this. All right. So I want to talk about sadness because we all feel sad sometimes, right? It's a normal feeling that we have. Um, so I wanted to ask you guys to kind of tell us. I don't know what he. I'm done. I'm done. Okay. So, what do you think are healthy ways to cope when people are sad?
Um, that's the way to go. I say just doing things you enjoy. Like whenever I'm sad, I try my best to do things that I enjoy. Like I like coloring, drawing, playing games. Like I told you guys before, I really like to listen to music. And like a lot of times when I'm sad, I try to listen to upbeat music, try to lift myself up. Uh and sometimes when you're sad, and this is another thing that helps me, just go on TikTok or go on what's it called? YouTube or anything like
Oh, we lost him.
it's okay.
Just
But
keep. He'll join back.
okay. But just go on like TikTok or YouTube. Just look up like funny video compilations. Like if you like seeing people slip on banana peels and that makes you laugh,
Really.
do that. But just try to do something that you enjoy. Just do something you enjoy.
So watch videos of people slipping on banana peels. Got it. Okay.
Not saying do that, but if that's something that makes you laugh, then do that.
Okay.
It could be like I don't know. It could be anything that you find funny.
Got it. I know you watch a lot of funny stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what would you say? Healthy ways to cope.
Few ways to cope when people are sad. Well, listen to music. That's what I do. Go to sleep. That's what my brother does. Uh, let's see. What else is some healthy ways? Probably like go for a walk or something, or like just text somebody or talk to them, like and like help them. I mean, ask them to help you like feel better and like just like get out of that like the stage of like being sad and like try to do something like that'll get you jumping, like something that'll get you to have fun and smile and stop being like sad and everything.
Okay. So I hear music from both of you. Going for a walk. Could be calling someone, reaching out. Do you all think it's okay to just tell somebody, "Hey, I'm really sad right now"? Can you say that? Feel comfortable saying that?
Yeah, but it just has to be somebody that you trust. You don't just go and tell like a random adult. You just gotta it gotta be it gotta be somebody that you trust.
Somebody that you trust, absolutely.
Mhm.
Chris, you made a face. Would you say no?
No, I was just reading Miss Elaine's comment.
Oh, what I said, would it be? Is it okay to tell somebody if you're sad? You kind of made a face. I just thought maybe I did.
Oh, I think for me, it's gonna take me a minute. It's gonna take me a minute.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree with mom. I agree with mom on that one. Uh, but for me, it's gonna take me a minute to like just tell somebody because it's like maybe I should just like calm down for a minute and like try to like not be sad like while I'm trying to talk to somebody. Like it's like get back into that stage where like you're able to talk to somebody like you're calm and you're able to talk about it to somebody.
So you might need to just take a moment to kind of like have a moment to yourself before you talk, and then talk to somebody you trust. Though those are both good points, and I think being able to recognize, Chris, if you need a moment before you talk, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And let's just say somebody's asking you, like, "Hey, well, what's going on? What's wrong with you?" You know, because sometimes that can happen. I'm not saying it's parents all the time. Sometimes it's your friends, and you're like, "I just need a moment." Like, we need to respect when you say you need a moment. Let you have a moment and let you come
That's
back.
exactly
Oh, go ahead.
that's exactly what happens to me at school. Whenever like I'm like annoyed right now, I don't want to say nothing. Everybody will be like, "Chris, what's wrong?" I was like, "I don't want to talk about it." Then they'll come back 5 minutes later, 3 minutes later, and ask me the same question. I'm still not ready. Like, give me some time, some space. A couple hours.
Yeah,
We can talk.
time and space. Yeah. And I think the big thing is, especially when it's somebody you trust, then you come back to it. You know, or maybe the friend wasn't the person they needed to really know what was going on. Maybe you need to wait till you get home and talk to family about it. Could be. But yeah, we definitely don't want to tell everybody everything. That's not safe. Everybody's not a safe person to tell things to. And say so even some of us adults were saying, well, we need a moment before we yeah, give me a moment. Yep.
I also want to entertain what Miss Bridget says. Eating, I a lot of the times when I'm sad, I eat fruit snacks like crazy.
Yeah,
Mom, no, I eat fruit snacks.
I know. I know.
It's fruit snacks and goldfish like crazy. It's yeah.
Yeah, we just got to be careful. We don't want to be emotional eaters. And emotional eaters could be when I'm really, really happy, I eat a bunch of stuff I'm not supposed to eat. And then when I'm really, really sad, I eat a bunch of stuff that I'm not supposed to eat too. Because some people, it could be, some people when they're really excited, they eat whatever. You have to be careful with that because we got to take care of our temple. You know, it's our temple. Just be careful. That's all. So, okay. Next question. Do you think adolescents experience depression? So, like, I know we talked in our private talk about sadness and depression is not the same thing.
It is not, and
It's
that is
definitely not.
one of the I think that is one of the most miscommunicated things when it comes to not even just adolescent mental health.
Okay, word. Go
I
ahead.
think I don't even think it's just adolescent mental health. I think it's just mental health in general. I feel like a lot of people get sadness and depression mixed up, you know. Sadness is a thing that you probably experience at the most maybe a couple of days, but depression, it can, like, you know, the term seasonal depression. You can be depressed the whole fall season, and that's months and even years. To be completely honest with you, years.
You're right.
Depression is more of a long term thing, you know.
Mhm.
But sadness, I feel like is sadness is long term too, but it's not as long as depression can be. And you know, your sadness can develop into depression
Mhm.
too. So yeah, I most definitely do think adolescents experience depression. And again, I use myself as an example. At sometimes there are some moments where I get depressed, and a lot, and then sometimes I'm not really in that moment ready to talk about it. But you know, that's another thing. Just give me a minute, or maybe like a couple of hours or something like that. Sometimes it's even days. Sometimes it takes days for some people to just talk about why they were depressed. So you know, you just gotta give them a minute, and yeah.
Absolutely. You explained it very well. That's a way that if I was talking to a client, I would differentiate between sadness and depression is exactly what you said. So spot on, spot on. Chris, I got you. Can you? Are you still delayed? Chris, can you hear me?
Huh?
Okay, I think it is delayed. Okay. So what? Okay, so can you answer this question? Do you think adolescents experience depression? Why or why not?
Okay, I'll work on deleting anymore.
That's okay.
Okay. Uh, adolescent experience. Yes, I definitely think so. It's like every school year in my school, it can't be no school year that somebody always comes to school one day they're happy and then the next day they're like, oh, like I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm just like don't talk to me. I'm upset right now. I don't want to like talk to nobody. Like I can't do nothing. I can't say nothing to you. It's just too deep. Like I'm just too deep in my feelings right now. Like I just can't do nothing. Like nobody can do nothing about it. Like I tried doing it for one person and it was like I couldn't, like they didn't respond or nothing. And then after that, like the next day they were okay. Like they were still like down about everything.
Mhm. So it's real. It's real for
Yeah.
everyone. It definitely is a real thing. And being able to talk about it, acknowledge it, it's hard. And I'm saying this too because you all are also Black young men. And like we've even talked about that on this podcast before about mental health and Black men. And it's very important. And this kind of goes into the next question. Kind of lump it together because time wise, we're getting towards the end, but I want to talk just about feelings in general and kind of we're going to kind of lump two questions in one. So kind of like what have you been taught about feelings and have you been encouraged to or felt encouraged to speak about them? So like what did you learn what have you learned about feelings? And then do people encourage you to speak up about how you're feeling? So both of those questions kind of together.
What I've been taught about feelings, I would say that, well, for one, obviously, this is an obvious one. There are multiple different feelings: happy, sad, depressed, etc. I would say talk. I would say just learn how to manage your feelings about certain stuff, because what I mean by manage, just try and keep. I kind of just lost my train of thought. I had it, but I lost my train.
Talk about managing your feelings and
Yeah,
trying to keep
just like managing and like trying to make sure that you stay like okay with your feelings and different stuff like that. Have I have sorry.
have you felt encouraged to speak about them, your feelings?
Yeah, I would say most definitely, and I'll use you and dad as an example. You guys definitely like when dad picks me up from school, he asks how's your day and stuff. A lot of times, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I think I need to work on this myself. Because I know Dad, you're watching. Whenever I say I'm fine, sometimes I'm not. A lot of the times I'm not fine, but I just don't want to talk about it in that moment. You just gotta kind of give me a minute, and then I'll tell you with that. So yeah, I definitely feel like you and Dad have encouraged me to speak on my feelings, and especially you, because you always tell me, and it's not even just you, it's Dad too. He always says, or you guys always say, keep. You guys always say, don't keep it bottled in. If when you're feeling feelings like that, come and tell me what's going on, so that we can figure this out together, and you don't feel like you're in it by yourself,
Because you're not.
because you're not.
Absolutely. What about you, Chris?
What I've been taught is like especially during school, don't like say like somebody does something to you, don't uh show them that they got to you. It's like when like if you show them that they hurt your feelings, they're gonna keep they're gonna keep going to you as their main target. because they know they're gonna get something out of you. So there was like, because my dad, he says like, don't like never show anybody your emotions, especially in school, because like there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna be ready to get at you, and other people, because they know they can't get at anybody else but you, because because me, I'm a very emotional person, very, very. Ask my mom, very. And then it's like I haven't really been, and I've been encouraged to speak about it, but it's like I don't want to. It's like it's not like how Rajon says, like I don't want to talk about it at the moment, because like in the process, like when I get asked that question, it's like, do I in my head do I tell them, or just do I wait it out? Because I feel like if I tell them now, then it's just gonna be like even worse on me than what I'm about to tell them, than like it already is. So it's like I need to like calm down and just wait a minute for before I really want to just talk about it. So I know it's gonna be a very long conversation.
Yeah, it could be a long conversation. It could be a long needed conversation. But I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier is that even just saying, I don't know if we lost. I'll see what's going on with him. But even if it's
Okay, there we go.
okay,
I froze on my screen. My bad. I'm sorry.
it's okay. But even if it's, and this is for both of you all because I heard you both kind of saying the same thing in different ways. If you need a minute, that's okay. If somebody's asking you what's going on and you're like, or saying, did you have a good day? And you didn't, but you're like, no, not really. But can I have just a little bit of time to like decompress before we talk about it? That's fine as well. Or like Chris, if you're saying like you may not necessarily feel comfortable expressing it or showing how you're feeling when you're at school, or again, I think that goes back to what your surroundings are. And I think it's hard because especially for those of us who are like very sensitive to our emotions, I think let's try saying instead of saying overly emotional, let's say sensitive to our emotions because we all are emotional. We're emotional creatures. We all are, but it's not acting, in that emotion. But some of us are just more sensitive to how we feel. And yeah, it's just saying, please, I need a moment, and I think just being, especially when it's a parent, because a lot of times I know it's us, just say, hey, I will talk, but can I just have some time? And then I'm sure us parents, we need to respect that as well. Because I know a lot of times we're like, you go answer my question when I ask you. I know we can be like that sometimes, and that's not helpful. Because I get that. I'm learning that still. That is not helpful. So, but it's definitely important for you all. Um, like your mom saying, Chris, stresses her out, not knowing something's wrong, but you won't let her try to help. Um, and I think that's the issue. It's like we want to fix your problem. And I'll say this, parents, who I'm taking this in. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It is not always our job to fix it. Even though there are babies, these are some young men here. It's not always our job to fix it. And sometimes it will help them if we just give them a moment. That could be fixing it for them. Because if we give them a moment, then they can process a little bit. And then they probably will formulate the right answers and how to express what actually happened. What, yeah, because we really want to bridge it. It ain't. Sometimes it's not though, because we got to think about it. We're raising our children to be adults. They've got to learn how to fix some of their own issues. Even sometimes I let my daughters who are 7 and 9 have a little argument to see if they can resolve it. Now, of course, the 7-year-old is a little physical, so I have to like intervene a lot most of the time. But sometimes, thanks sis. Sometimes I have to let them try to work that thing out before I say anything. Because if mom is always jumping in, or dad, or whomever is always jumping in the middle and trying, or even like if they're saying they're having a rough day and they don't want to talk about it, if we always try to jump in, how are they ever going to learn how to navigate how they're feeling? They're not. Because my mom always handled that. Every time I was upset about something, she just went ahead and did this. And they don't learn how to regulate their emotions because we're always trying to regulate them for them. That was the Holy Spirit, because I didn't even think about it like that too. just now. Ooh, I got one of those physical kick. Yeah, my youngest, she the youngest, but she's a terrorizer. So we hear you, young men. We hear you. Give you a moment. You want to talk, maybe. Sometimes you don't know if you want to talk, but I think if we create an environment that is more comfortable for you, it'll be a lot easier to talk. It's so natural to go into protective moments because you want them to be okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't want our children hurting. I know when my babies hurt, I hurt more than they hurt. I'm 10 times more hurt than they are. But we have to let them learn. It's the same thing like when a little baby falls and scrapes their knee. Well, maybe not a baby, but like as you get to a certain age, you still comfort them, but you got to teach them how to get back up. You got to teach them how to deal with that pain, the little scraped knee that they have. If we just, oh my gosh, let me do this and this. If we are like that when they're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then they 25 and they don't know how to deal with any problems because we've been fixing their problems since they was 2. Just stop. So, thank you, God, for that. So, in that vein, this goes into this too. How can we, as parents or guardians or family members, adults in your life, just think about adults in your life. How can we best support you? So, it could be, sometimes you could be comfortable talking to one parent or brother, but in general, let's just answer that first part. How, y'all be real with us and tell us, all the adults, so it could be teachers, parents, adults in your life, and ministry, because we do ministry together too. How can we best support you as we're talking about mental health? What can we do? We're listening.
Um, like to just like help with it in general.
So just to support, like, how can we be a better support? I'm gonna reword this question.
Yes.
So it could be your teachers, adults in your life. How can we best support you?
I think just when we're ready to talk, just listening to us. I think that really helps a lot of people. I know that helps for me when I know that helps for me when as you guys when you say best support us. I think just listening to us and hearing what we have to say on just in general about mental health or different stuff like that. I think just, at least for me, I don't know how it is for Chris or anybody else, but I think just listening helps.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
I think that uh, like my mom and like my grandma and my dad, like I think the best way that they can best support me. I wouldn't like not like trying to put them out. Like maybe sometimes like therapists will work for me. Uh, like probably like I could use some space, like have my own room from my brother, because it's like because when I need some space alone, my brother just barges in and then just makes it even worse, and then which gets me mad, and then after that I get yelled at. So it's like that's like one way. Like another way is like to I don't know, like just
She said, "Be honest. Be honest."
I just need space. That's all I need. I just really need space. That's the best option for me. I just need some space.
So you all want us to listen to you, and you need your space.
Oh yeah, that's another thing with me, space. I don't. I used to share a room, mine with my older brother, but it was a bit different with my older brother. It was a bit different with him because we were he was more, like I said, he's my older brother, so he understands more of the thing called space than my younger sisters, because sometimes I don't feel like sometimes I just go in my room and I just do me, but sometimes my sisters just barge in all over the place, and then I tell them to get out, they don't listen, and then they're like making. So
Right. Yeah, I think it's interesting because you guys are like middle children, but kind of older in the sense that like your older siblings are grown, and but like you're kind of like the oldest middle child. ish because y'all still have younger siblings. So it is tough. And I know, and especially at this age, you all do need your space. You do, because you guys are young men now. You're young men, not little boys anymore. So, but you need space and you need us to listen. So adults, let's take heed. They want us to listen to them and they need space. Chris is emphasizing.
Space is my number one priority.
It's number one priority. Number one, space. Okay. So we got one more question. Number one. This number one. Uh, your mom said space, done. See? Done. And TT says heard. Got it.
Bet.
See what's speaking? Just and you were very respectful when you said it. You were. You weren't being rude or disrespectful. You were very respectful when you said that. You were. And you see, sometimes I'll say this because I'm not going to go on a tangent because me and Rajon, we've had this conversation. Sometimes it's not that we're not hearing you because sometimes we can't do what you're asking, but be patient with us too because sometimes you all say stuff and we're hearing, we're processing, but we need a moment. And you know, changing rooms, sometimes that's a complicated thing to do, but it is a complicated thing. So, but yeah, we hear you. We are listening to you, and I'm gonna put this back up there again. Space, done. That's what Mom said. So, okay, y'all are just awesome. Okay, one more question. Because this is important because we want to make sure this conversation. This is just a conversation we're having today. But this is an important thing. This needs to go further. So, what are you all willing to do, or what will you do to help promote mental health for yourself and your peers?
I would say, because I have social media and stuff, I would say I would do things to promote mental health awareness and just talk about on the platforms that I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and stuff. And I've been thinking about doing YouTube for a little while. But with school and everything, it's just kind of hard to like do a little bit of both. Plus, but like I think with me, it would definitely be social media and just get mental health awareness for adolescents and yeah, for like adolescents just out there so that people know and people can hear it from a teenager's or an adolescent's point of view, not just an adult's point of view, but a person who is actually an adolescent.
Absolutely. Okay, Chris?
Well, what I would do to like help promote mental health for me and my age group, my school like they do like a lot of announcements like stuff about like German trivia questions over the PA system, like Hispanic is it Hispanic or something like that I think, and then they will like and then they will always like they will talk about something. And so, like, I was thinking, like, I could always just go to my principal and then just ask them if I could, like, just talk about it, like, for people to recognize, like, there's always going to be someone there to help you, like the counselor at our school, or, like, you can ask your parents if you can do something for your mental health.
So social media, different announcements. You're right. I know schools have tons of announcements. There's always things going on. And, you guys can be innovators, of things that don't exist. Maybe there isn't something at your school specifically for mental health, but there could be. There could be because it could definitely start with you all. I'm unofficially making out my adolescent spokesman for mental health. So I don't know exactly what that means, but you'll find out.
I think when you say that, just do maybe have us do videos for like Instagram or whatever platforms you use. I don't know, but like have us do videos and just talk about mental health. Kind of like how you do. Is it Wednesdays?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Wednesday? Well, maybe have us do different stuff like that.
Okay, that's a good idea. Remember you said that, Chris. You down? Yeah. So. Okay. Well, be the other way too. Yeah. Sometimes it's just that simple. Just listening to them. Maybe they need somebody to talk to, or they just need some support. So it's being able to do that. Yes, they are incredibly awesome. I caught myself almost crying like twice that we've been on here this evening. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm so proud of you all. You all have done an absolutely amazing job this evening. Words cannot even express how proud of you all that I am, and I'm trying not to cry, but y'all are blessed. Y'all are truly blessed, and I'm about to cry, but I'm just grateful to be in this place to watch you all grow. And I'm sorry I'm crying, but these are our babies, and we love them so much. And y'all have no idea. I don't even know what God has in store for you all. Just watch God work, watch God move. I don't care what comes y'all way. Y'all let the Lord use y'all. Y'all know y'all always put God first. No matter what, through everything, put God first. God is first. But y'all got a very, very strong support system. Y'all got tons of support just on here. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So I am truly grateful. We lost Chris again. We lost him again.
It's okay. We'll get him back in a second.
We'll get him back. He'll be back. I am absolutely proud of you all. So when he comes back on, there he goes. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Look, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. We back. We're good. I was just saying I'm proud of you all. I'm so proud of y'all. So proud. And I just can't wait to see what God is going to do in y'all lives. Y'all only 12 and 14. Just watch. I'm just saying. So, okay. I'm back now. See, it's okay to express your emotions. I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. Really, really happy. So, again, we thank you all for joining us this evening. I just have a couple of announcements that I want to go on. That impacted his mental health. You getting off? I don't know. I think that's what she was talking about. So,
love you too. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine. So, just a couple of announcements while we're together. Rajon has a little shirt that says self-care. So we're going to be doing some self-care in the month of October. So for those of you who typically tune in to Purpose, thank you, Rajon, Purpose Journey Counseling. Some people are going to be very, very shocked to see this, but my people are going to be happy with me. So we are taking a fall break. Hallelujah, for the rest of the month of October. So we will not have any weekly messages for the rest of October. I'm saying this, and I'm being obedient to what my father and Deborah told me to do. We're taking a fall break. No weekly messages. We will resume weekly messages in November. So please pay attention to social media for different inspirational quotes. We're still here. We're still working. We're still doing. We're still serving. But we will not be on Wednesday. We will not be live on Wednesday mornings. We won't be for the month of October. Maybe I'm not gonna put I will put that comment. Not for the month of October. The Lord says, sit down. I'm gonna sit down. Oh, she's actually happy. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we team too much over here. So God says sit down. I'm gonna listen. For God have to sit me down again. So I'm gonna listen. So for the month of October, we will not be live after today, but just please. I will still post things periodically, but we're still available, but just not on here. So for starting in November, just mark your calendars and just get ready. We're going to have Wellness Wednesdays on the 1st and the 3rd Wednesdays in November and December. That will be live at, let me move this so you all can actually see this. That will be live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all of our platforms. So we will have Wellness Wednesdays in November, December on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday. So see, we are being obedient to what the Lord has said. So we are cutting back a bit, but we'll still be around and we're still just active here. So then with that being said, just to put a little plug out there, our next episode of our podcast, # from a Christian, # from a therapist with Dr. Ntatu, episode 16 will actually be On Sunday, December 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have a special Christmas Eve edition. It's going to be, yes, we're going to be live on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. We'll have a Christmas Eve edition. It's going to be something different, something fun, but just something for us to just still come back together. But that'll be our next podcast, and we will not have a podcast in the month of November. They shot. Look, when the Lord say do, you do what the Lord is telling you to do. So,
hallelujah. Say hallelujah in the chat. I'm saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Exactly. So again, y'all, I love y'all. I thank God for y'all, and yeah, y'all are absolutely amazing young men, and just so very, very proud of you. So, but our tag for Purpose Journey Counseling, every time we are together, we're thankful for it, is to be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional towards others as well as towards yourselves. And I think I saw, there it is, another comment. But, oh, wait a minute, where we go? Lord willing, we will see you the first Wednesday in November. The first Wednesday in November. I'm not sure of the date because I'm not going to look at it. I said I wasn't going to look at it. First Wednesday in November for Wellness Wednesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have an amazing, amazing week. We pray. Speak blessings over your week, over your work, everything that you're doing, over your families, over your safety, over your homes. God bless you. Blessings and love to each and every one of you all. Good night.
Bye.